town location. We have 3 programs, and you'll hear me talk in abbreviations because our world is abbreviation, but I will tell you what those abbreviations are. One of our programs downtown is EBA, and that stands for Electronic Board Assembly, okay? And basically in that electronic board assembly class, it is a 10-week program. And when we say accelerated skills, that's exactly what we mean, accelerated. So you will be getting a lot of information in a short period of time, a lot of hands-on in a short period of time, a lot of technical skills, you know, in a short period of time. So you must be committed to these short-term programs, because if you are, you will definitely get the bang for your buck at the end of the program. So with that electronic board assembly program, that is in our downtown center as well as in our Kissimmee center. And basically what that electronic board assembly program is, many of you know electronics is everywhere. I mean, it's everything. We have it in our refrigerators, we have it, you know, our phones. I mean, everything is electronic. So basically what that electronic board assembler person would do is they are actually going to learn how to read a schematic and actually put the components on the board. If you've ever broken a remote or maybe a joystick, you've seen that green board, or even a phone. I know I've cracked several phones. You see that green board that's in the middle. That basically is what that electronic board assembler person does. They look at a schematic, the instructor will teach them how to solder, and that's how those components get on that board. They solder them on that board, and soldering is a skill that is very in demand at the moment. Like I said, everything is a bit electronic, so you know, when things break or things need to be put together, I mean, that's what we need. We need somebody that can solder, that can, you know, understand and you know, interpret information. And basically that's kind of what that electronic board assembler does. A part of that program also is wire harness. If you ever paid attention to maybe the cable guy that comes into your home, and they come in with like a handful of wires, and they're kind of harnessed all together. They're harnessed all together because that's what that tech needs to do their job. Instead of pulling out wires from here, wires from there, those wires are kind of already harnessed for a particular job. And that's why it takes them about 15 minutes, maybe 5, just to hook your cable up. At one time, I remember when we first got cable, you know, it was, you had to schedule the service, and you had to get the boxes mailed out to you, and it was a whole process. Now you just take that wire harness, and I mean that batch of wires, and you harness them together, and now this tech has what they need to do basically their job. As you can see with the pictures that David's put up, that is basically some of our students that are in our electronic board assembly, that were in our electronic board assembly program. And basically this program, you cannot be colorblind, so you have to know, you have to recognize your colors, because the wires are different colors. You got yellow, green, red wires, so they want to make sure you know your wires, because that's important in this particular occupation. As well, you know, you want to have a steady hand, because you're soldering. You have to be meticulous, so to speak, like care about your work, pay attention to detail, because one thing about soldering, it's about the quality. It's the quality of it, because whatever you're doing, say you get with an employer like Lockheed, you know, that's a defense contractor. So anything that you're putting together, you're assembling for them, guess where that goes? That goes to our, you know, our soldiers. So you want to make sure when they hit that button for that missile that it works, you know. And then, you know, as well as, you know, even if with that job you get to have some type of, you know, pride for what you're doing, you know, if you were to get that kind of job. But very important industry, very important occupation. So if you like making things or working with your hands, or even some of the ladies that do jewelry, like that means you work with small utensils, you know, you may be able to do this really, really well. And it just may be a hobby to you, but then you turn this into a really good skill, technical skill that can really take you a long way. And it becomes something that you build a foundation upon. So that program is 10 weeks. You're able to get 4 certifications. You have the ability to get 4 certifications. You get your FOD, you get your cable wire harness, you get your soldering, and then you also have the ability to get your space addendum as well. And basically what that is that it's a certification. So say if you went on, you know, the Space Coast and you wanted to work, you know, at one of the contractors that are making the, you know, the shuttles that's going up, you have a certification that can get you in the door. Okay, so that is one of our programs. Another one of our programs that are downtown is our distribution operation technician program. And as you know, even within this pandemic, I know I'm not the only one. Amazon has been at my door all day, every week, everything, because I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out. I don't even want to go to the mailbox. So I'm even glad that they bring it to the door. But that position and that occupation is so important, as you can see even right now, is that it's about the distribution operation technicians. They are the ones that keep our world going. They are the individuals that make sure that the order that you picked is there. You can actually order it. They make sure that, you know, it gets to you properly. They make sure they're pulling it from the right distribution center. They're filling it back up. They're using systems. They're scheduling it. I mean, it's everything that encompasses distribution operations, from when you order that package from Amazon till and if you got the Amazon Prime, it gets to you like next day. That's like the best thing ever. But I know even with that takes a lot from a distribution person. You have to be very organized and very, you know, very on top of it. Know when you move something, something has to go back. Or if you take something there, you don't want to take it from the North Carolina distribution because that one may be too far. So it has a lot. It teaches you the front and the back of the house of that ordering process. And as you can see, like I said, every occupation right now is in demand. Right now, they are hiring distribution technicians like hotcakes because no one's really getting out the house. So what are they doing? They're ordering. They're ordering. Everything's coming to them. So that distribution operation technician program, that is also 10 weeks. And you're also able to get your MSSC distribution operation technician certificate. And you're also able to get your distribution operations, what is it, Dave? Technician and associate. That's what it is. I know it's two of them, and they kind of sound alike, so I always get them mixed up. So the distribution operation associate and distribution operation technician. So you get to actually walk in the door with these certifications, and guess what? Now the employer is like very confident in what you know, and that you know the OSHA requirements. You're also going to get your OSHA with this as well. So you're walking in the door with a lot of credentialing, having that employer very confident in what your skill is. Okay. One of our other programs is our mechatronics technician. This is a very, very, very popular program. Our mechatronics technician, you say, oh, what is a mechatronics technician? Never heard of that. What is that? Sounds very, you know, prestigious, mechatronics. But let me tell you what a mechatronics technician is. A mechatronics technician is basically, it's a combination of an individual that's skilled with a little bit of electrical and mechanical attributes. And with that, guess who uses these type of individuals? You get theme parks that use these individuals. You have distribution companies that use these. A lot of distribution companies use mechatronics technicians, because basically what they are, say if a conveyor belts break down and they got to get, say Frito-Lay, and they got to get these chips out here, and they can't, you know, they call that mechatronics technician in there. That mechatronics technician goes in there, he troubleshoots the problem, fixes the conveyor belt, and bam, now this is, because in distribution and in manufacturing, time is money. Time is money. So anytime that something breaks down, that's money lost. So they need that mechatronics technician on hand. So just in case something breaks down, or a machine gets jammed, or a conveyor belt stops or something, that mechatronics technician is there. They even use mechatronics technicians in hotels. It is an array of things that you can become or you can do as a mechatronics technician. And that program, that is a little longer. It's not 10 weeks, it's actually 20 weeks, but at the same time, it's not long either. But you have the availability to get several certifications with that mechatronics technician program. It goes over program logical controllers. It talks about hydraulics. It talks about, if you're mechanically inclined and savvy with tools, and you kind of know your way around mechanically wise, this probably would be a great program. And even if you don't, if you know that and you can come in the classroom and this is something that you're interested in. Now, if you're not interested in anything mechanical, do not look at this program, because this is all, you're going to work with tools, you're going to work with oil, you're going to work with, you're going to work with all of those things, and it's hands-on. So if this is something that you definitely know you don't want to do, that's fine. But if it sounds like something that you'll be interested in, and you're committed to learning it, and committing to the time and committing to the studying of it, this is a very rigorous program as well, because it is accelerated again. And I continue to say accelerated, because it is a lot of information in a short period of time. Okay, so the commitment has to be there for a lot of these programs, especially the very short ones. The mechatronics training is also hands-on, so you will have the opportunity to really apply what you've learned in the classroom when you with the instructor. We have great instructors. All of our instructors are industry professionals, so you are actually dealing with someone that is actually kind of working in the field, or know what it takes to work in the field, or can go out and work in the field. Okay, so that's a really good thing, because now you don't have anybody that's just sitting there saying, you do this. This person can actually show you actually what to do, because they know what they're doing. Okay. There is a day and nighttime course for that mechatronics right now in downtown. The day course is 7 to 2:30, 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And the evening course is 2:30 to 10. Okay, so that is a day and evening course for that mechatronics technician. For the electronic board assembly program and that distribution operation technician program, those programs are in the daytime from 7:30 to 2:30. Okay. So if you're interested in those programs, those are there. We also have a welding program that is actually housed in our Kissimmee location. We actually have a welding 1 and a welding 2 program. And basically it teaches you all of what you need to know to be a whole welder. So that's why it's 1 and 2, because there are certifications you will get in 1, and then other certification you'll get in qualifications you're getting 2. Okay, if you are interested in welding, most of my welding people, let me tell you, I can kind of detect a welder. I know all my welders. All my welders are very, very artistic. Either they know how to draw, or they really can see things and bring things to life. I know my welders when I see them, and our welding program is actually the most popular one, because most people that come, we have a waiting list for the welders, because there's so many people that try to get in the welding program. But that welding program is actually there. I always recommend, if you take the welding 1, you go ahead and take the welding 2. Okay, we want you to maximize on what you're going to get. So always take, if you're going to take 1 and you're able to come back and take 2, and trust me, we're going to try to do whatever we can to help you through the process of trying to get to welding 2 if you take welding 1. Okay, especially if you're committed and you're a great student. All right, we'll do what we can to try to help you get to welding 2. Welding is also a 20-week program as well. So you have welding 1, and then you'll have welding 2. Welding 1 right now is at night. So welding 1 is in the evening, and welding 2 is in the day. So it's kind of, and as you go to welding 1, when you go to welding 2, now welding 2 probably will be in the day, and then welding opposite, just vice versa. So, but right now, as we're starting in August, the welding program starts August 10th. The mechatronics program starts August 10th. The distribution operation program starts August 10th. The electronic board assembly program starts July the 20th. Okay, and that is downtown. All right. The other electronic board assembly program starts July 13th, and that is in the Kissimmee location. Okay, So we do have 2 programs starting in July. Our downtown location, electronic board assembly, the 20th, and the Kissimmee location, electronic board assembly, the 13th, okay? Please do not let the cost of these programs deter you from applying for these programs. We have several community partners that we will actually help you work alongside to try to get you the funding. So if funding is the key, just don't worry, just apply. We can help you and work you through, because we definitely have some partners that we can work with to try to help you with that tuition piece. So if you're interested and you're committed and you can dedicate that time and you want to see a change in your life in 10 or 20 weeks, these will be the programs that you would want to get into. Is that the last slide? No, that's not the last slide, is it, Dave? Okay.
So these are some of the, I'll give Nikisha just a quick break here. These are some of the construction programs. These are all in, for the most part, in the Kissimmee area. There's a heavy equipment operating program, and that's where they use the big yellow machines. And you actually do work in a simulator, and then you actually get in one of the machines. We have 4 of them there, and you're digging holes and doing trenches and digging in the dirt. We got 3 acres of sand and dirt, and you basically move dirt and figure out how to use the machine, and you're well supervised and very safe when you do it. And then you could be one of those people that's working, you know, on I-4 and helping us to get a nice new road someday. Apartment maintenance is and both of these, all 3 of the programs I'm talking about are all 10-week programs. Apartment maintenance is everything you could think about being a handy person in an apartment setting. So you're learning plumbing, you're doing some AC work, you're doing some pool maintenance, you're doing drywall repair, painting, tiling, hang-in ceilings. It's really the ultimate handyman program. What's great about that is you have the option to live on campus. I'm sorry, not on campus. I'm looking at something else and said campus. You can actually live on the complex, and get a reduced rent potentially if if you get a job with an apartment company, you potentially do that. And so you don't have to have a car, you're right at work. And so that kind of eliminates the transportation issue. So that's a really good option for people, because you get reduced rent, you get a good wage, and there's always plenty of work to do in these apartment complexes. Carpentry is exactly what you would think it is. Building. We have the students build like a tiny house or a small building, and you're learning how to do from the floor to the walls to the roof and kind of everything in between. So it's very comprehensive. And then again, you can work residential or commercial in carpentry, and there are plenty of jobs in that. That's a 10-week program. And then the last one is electric power line. So I'll go quickly there. You've seen them. You see them around with after the hurricanes, before the hurricanes. You see them every day. The men and women that are out putting up new power lines, fixing our power lines, changing transformers, et cetera, et cetera. We have a partnership with the Orlando Utility Commission, and we actually do the training on their site. We're not there now because of COVID, but and you learn from some of the best people in the business on how to be an electrical power lineman. Without taking this 15-week class, there's virtually no chance that you would get into this industry. The first class we did about a year ago, we started very small. 7 of them were actually hired by OUC, and many of them are making close to 6 figures now as an electrical power lineman at a very apprentice level. But from there, their career can go crazy, and you can have plenty of opportunities in the power line or power industry. And eventually, that'll get into solar panels and other types of electrical power. But that's really our construction suite of programs. And I thought I'd just give Nikisha a break and show you the programs. You're seeing a couple pictures here. These are our students. So this is some of the work that they do, and you can see the 4 different programs. it's funny. Nikisha said that she can look at somebody and say, that's going to be a welder. I can tell, right? Look at the power line guys. It's so funny. You can look at almost every one of them. And when I met them for our first class, you could go, I could see them being a power lineman, you know? Interesting. Now, all of these, again, are more in the Osceola area right now. Our vision and plan is to get it more to the east Orlando very soon, but that won't happen probably till next year. But if you're able to, you have transportation, all of these programs are covered by our funding partners, as well as some other funding options that we have to be able to cover the cost for most of these programs. So if you're interested in more of these kinds of programs, you can certainly reach out to us and or apply. And I put the application link in the chat, so you can have that if you want to apply. I'm going to go back to you, Nikisha.
Okay. So, and these two programs are clinical medical. So if you're a type of person and you definitely like to care for people, I know when I first started out my career path, I was like, oh, I just want to help people. I want to help people. And I went into the medical field, and I did certified nursing assistant, very short program, just like clinical medical. And if this is something that you feel like you can, you want to do, I recommend you go ahead and do it. I did CNA for 8 years, and then I moved on to something else. But the foundation that it gave me to move on was actually awesome. So clinical medical, clinical medical program is one of our mobile training programs, because it could be like right now, before COVID, it was at the Lake Nona location, and then it'll move to the East Campus at our SBS office, and then it'll move to Osceola campus. So it takes turns moving to the different campuses. So if you're interested in that program and you want to make sure it's not too too far from you or inconvenient, just want to make sure you know where that next course is starting. I know there is a program starting. Is it July, Dave? Do they have a CM? It is a program starting in July for CMA. That is another popular program as well. And as you can see up here, you have commercial driving class A, and that is going to be a new program. We don't have this program just yet, but it is on its way to us, okay? And that is a commercial driver's class A license. Dave, with this program, how many weeks would this one be?
So this is either a 4-week where you'll go 5 days a week, so you get it done very quickly. It will be class A is the large trucks, so it's tractor trailer. And there's some prerequisites that you have to do there, but this program is 4 weeks. High demand right now for commercial truckers. And there's also going to be another option in the future that will be 10 weeks, and it'll be nights and weekends is what we're going to do in the program. So if you have a job and you want to learn this at the same time, you can do it. And this will start in September, and then we're going to run it pretty much every 6 weeks, because it's a 4-week program. So we do 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So,
and I just want to add to that, just like in distribution, how do the things get here? They get here by the trucks. I see the Amazon trucks on the road all day long with the big smiles, so they get here by the truck. So again, these are in-demand occupations, and they're short in length. So these are some great opportunities that Valencia has for you guys to, just kind of plummet yourself forward, or just get you, even if you don't know, just give you a foundation of where can I start, but I can, have a good start, and I can make a living. A lot of our programs are like that. So we want to let you know where we are, in the community. We have the West Campus. We have the Winter Park campus. We have our Lake Nona campus, Osceola campus. We also have a Poinciana campus, okay? We have the School of Public Safety. We have the Advanced Manufacturing Center. Now that is a separate center in Osceola County in Kissimmee that is detached from the actual Valencia campus that is there in Kissimmee, okay? So there is an advanced manufacturing center where the welding, the CNC program, computer numerical control program, and the electronic board assembly program are housed in, okay? And then we have, last but not least, our very own brand new downtown Orlando center, which many of you, if you decide to go to those courses, that's where you will be. We have, like I said, the electronic board assembly, the mechatronics, and the distribution operation technician housed there, okay? Now, we want to talk about, we want to talk about tuition, because I know you say, okay, all of that sounds great, all of that sounds good, but let's talk about the money, because, you know, I need to know how much all of this stuff costs. So, like I said earlier, we do have community partners. Our mechatronics program, our welding program, our CNC program, our computer numerical control program, those are $7,000. Our electronic board assembly program is $4,695, and our distribution operation technician program is $4,000. You might have to help me out, Dave. $295. Got it. $4,295. So they are significant amount of money. However, like I said, do not let that deter you. If that's the only thing that's stopping you, don't let it stop you. Come, fill out an application. They put the application link. Talk to me or Tim or Glennie or Chris, depending on what program you decide that you want to go to. Me and Tim Flagg is my the other recruiter, my partner. We work with the advanced manufacturing programs, meaning the computer numerical control, the welding, the electronic board assembly, the mechatronics, the distribution operation technician. Those are the programs that we work with. But we also have another team of Chris Lagulin and Glennie Perez, and they work with the construction, the apartment maintenance, the clinical medical, the power line, the carpentry. So depending on what program you're interested, when you fill out that application, a recruiter will contact you, okay? A recruiter will reach out to you and kind of speak to you and talk to you about, you know, what made you pick these programs, and kind of talk to you just to make sure that you're, you know, we want to make sure that this is something that, you know, it's a good fit for you. And the only way we can kind of really do that is if we talk, you know, we talk about some of your past employment history, what you've done in the past, because that's kind of going to give us a clear indication on, you know, making sure that this is the right program for you. Then we're going to talk about scheduling, you know, when's next class, you know, maybe you're working and you need to get your schedule altered. You know, this is the time that you talk to your recruiter so we can get some of those things kind of ironed out, so we make sure that you can get into this program efficiently and you won't have any hiccups, okay? Transportation, we will talk about transportation, because like I said, we don't want you starting something that you can't finish. We just don't want that. We want you to start. We want you to finish successfully, because guess what? We're going to be there for you when you finish to help you find this now job, okay? And then we're going to talk about next steps after the program. Like, what do you want to do, so that we now can create that career path to that job, okay? So if it's tuition, do not let it stop you. If you're nervous about that, don't let that stop you from filling out an application, okay? I know everybody's situation is case by case, but don't let that stop you from talking to me, Tim, Glennie, or Chris, okay? So I want to kind of talk about like the application process, because I know you said, well, how do you start it? How do you get in? You know, how do we start this process? So basically, I talked to you guys about the application. It's a free application, okay? And once you fill out the application, like I said, either a recruiter will contact you, we'll email you, we'll call you to kind of get, you know, some information from you, kind of talk to you about, maybe you were interested in this program, but from what you told me, it sounds like you got some great skills, or you got some great innate, you know, capabilities that you probably would be a good fit for this program. And then we would explore what, you know, and talk about a little bit more what programs. Once we figure out where you are and what you want to do, Then we will now go into a process, because all of the programs that we talked about today, there is an entrance assessment that you will take, okay? And it is a basic skills, because what we want to do, and there is no, oh, oh no, you can't do this. There is, we want to see where you are, just to make sure, because I kept, harking on this in the beginning, accelerated skills, because we want to know where you are. We want to know where you are when you start. Not to say that you can't get to where we want you to be, but we want to know where you are, so that we know that you can keep up in the program, because you're going to get a lot of information thrown at you at once. So we want to make sure the math is on a level to where you're not going to get, you're not too far behind that you can't catch up. Okay. And so sometimes, some people's math scores or English scores, or, they're not where they want to be, but that does not mean that, hey, you may not be a great fit for this program, but you may be a better fit for another program. So that's where those conversations start happening at, once you take the assessment. And like I said, the assessment, you take it, you'll get your, we'll get your results back, and we'll contact you. Once, it's a thumbs up and we move you forward. Now we talk about funding. Then we talk about funding, we get you out to our partners, we tell you, what you need, what to expect. Once our partners reach out to you and you reach out to them, they get you situated, and now guess what? You got an acceptance letter coming, and now that's what that partner needs to basically say, okay, this person meets our criteria, because you got to remember, our partners have criteria as well. But more than likely, you probably will meet. I'm not the eligibility person, but I've been doing it long enough. I kind of know when, and like I said, as we talk to you, once the recruiter speaks to you, there'll be certain things we ask you, and it'll kind of give us an indication which partner we need to send you to. I won't send you to a partner that I know you may not meet the qualifications for. I'll send you to a partner I think you meet the qualifications for, okay? So don't worry about the no's, okay? Because we're gonna try to position you in a way to where, you can get through and get the funding that you need to start these programs, all right? And so once you get that, then you're basically enrolled in now your training program, and it's that easy. It's that easy. So don't think that you have to jump through hoops, because it's not a jump through hoops type of process. It's very clean cut. You'll deal with me or Tim from the beginning, and we will be there all the way to the end. So you will be with us from point A to Z. All right. So don't feel nervous that you'll be handed off to someone else. The only handoff you'll get is when you get that other. And this is the good thing. What I think a lot of you guys need to understand. You have our support in the community organization, our community partners that we refer you to. They're supporting you too. Like, they're giving you that same support. So now, you know how you say, oh, I want this car, and you go out there and they say, oh, you need a co-signer. Now you got two co-signers. Like, you got us, and you have that community, the other community partner that's co-signing on your commitment, that's co-signing on, your drive, that's co-signing on, your accountability, that's co-signing on every day that you go to school, every day that you complete, everything that you complete. You have two co-signers. So that's how you look at it, and you have that support, okay? So if this is something that you want to do, this is the enrollment process. It's not hard. Like I said, once you fill out that application, the ball starts rolling. We will send you a questionnaire, and that questionnaire is basically, like I said, it's giving you some basic questions, just trying to make sure you can do it. What's your schedule? Can this is the schedule of the program. Are you able to do that? Do you know this program, has heavy lifting? Are you able to do that? We don't want you to get in a program and be like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be, So we want to kind of acclimate you and let you know upfront what you're getting into, so you know exactly what to expect in a job environment once you get out there, okay? And these are some of our employer partners right here. We have a lot of them. We have Advent Health, we have RUA, we have Bridge, we have no more. It's just so many. And I think what you guys have the benefit of is that Valencia has a lot of partners. We really do. And they are true partners. And that's one of the good things that, you know, has to do with these short term. They are true partners. They normally come to us and say, hey, we have X amount of openings. We need some people. Or we have, you know, six positions coming. We need some people. That is a good thing to have, because guess what? They know who to come to, because we're producing great product. And that's why it's so important for us to make sure we have the right fits for the program, make sure we want it to be a win for you, we want it to be a win for us, and we want to be a win for the employer. We want everybody to have a win, especially you. So are there any questions? Shannon, Lance, y'all have no questions. I haven't heard the most asked question. I haven't heard anybody ask this question yet. How much money I'm gonna make? Like, well, what kind of money I'm making if I do these programs? Lance, you don't want to know how much money you're making? You don't want to know how much money you could potentially make?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to know.
Which program?
I was looking at the electronic board assembly one.
Oh man, that's a great pick. Lance, I want to tell you, I am very biased to that particular program. Very, very biased. I love that program. I sent my daughter to that program. And she absolutely loves it. With the electronic board assembly, most of our electronic board assemblies, one of our biggest partners with that program is Lockheed Martin. Lance, you know who Lockheed Martin is, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't know who doesn't know. You must be under a rock if you don't know who Lockheed Martin is. So that's one of our biggest employers for that come to us, and they basically want to take the whole class, okay? However, with Lockheed, you know, they have stipulations and contracts and things like that. So they start most of their employees, especially not employees, the electronic board assemblers, out at a set rate. And it's normally between $12.50 and I think $13. That is, I think it's $12.50. I think it's $12.50. But that's where they start them out at. And I say this to you, Lance, remember, most people that come into this electronic board assembly program, they've never done it in their life. So they don't really have any experience. So to start out at $12.50 with no experience, and with a company to where you don't have to pay insurance, you're vested from day one, and you got all these great benefits, you're normally working Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday with the weekend off with the option to get overtime. I think that's a great foundation to start at if you don't have the experience. Okay, so there are other perks to that job. Now, we do have other employers that offer more per hour that I've seen, but I always put Lockheed out there first, because that's one of the ones that you're like, oh, I can go over here and I can make, you know, X amount of money. But if you're looking to grow and you're looking to, and not to say that you can't grow with any other employer, but they're one of our bigger ones that I feel like a lot of people can get a lot of bang for their buck out of them. They send you to school. I mean, I'm just gonna speak from my experience that I see through my child. I had her in college for 2 years, and I took her out and she went to this program, and now she's changing her major to engineering. So I think that is something that she probably would have never, ever even thought of, because you just don't see it. But now, because you can see it, and she can really understand the growth and what's going on around her. And Lance, I mean, you sound like you're an adult. So my daughter's only 20 something, so she hasn't even lived yet. But you can understand the added value that place could give you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Shannon. Shannon, you knew you were going to be next, because I want to hear if you have any questions. That's all right. Shannon may be shy. That's all right. If you have any questions later, Shannon, just, I will have Dave put my email in the message box. You can send me an email. If you do decide to fill out an application, you can fill out an application and we'll contact you that way. But if you have any questions after this, you can definitely reach out to me, my email or my phone number. And we will answer anything I will answer anything that I think I can for you. Okay. Dave, did I hit everything?
You did. You did. And it's a lot of information. We know that. And it's hard to boil it down because there's so much going on. And like Nikisha said, we just encourage you, if you're interested, even if you just want to talk to us about it because you're still not sure, that's fine too. No pressure, bother you. We want to give you an opportunity to develop new skills and get into a new career. Not a job, a career.
Mm-hmm.
What we try to do is give you a start with a company, let's say like Lockheed Martin, that allows you to increase your skills and get into other positions and other pathways within a company like that. So these are great entry points. And so if you think of Frito-Lay and you think of Frinfrock and Mitsubishi Power Systems and all these big companies, Advent Health, to get into these companies today, you got to have skills, something that they want and need. And so that's what this whole thing is all about. Get you the skills, get you the certifications, get you the entry point, and then it's up to you at that point. You take off. And we've had people, like I said, that started out making, let's say, $13 an hour that are now making twice that with great benefits and a really nice life right now. So if you're interested, by all means, no pressure, no arm twisting. We just don't do that. So with that, we will spin it back to Denise. And we really do appreciate both you, Lance and Shannon, for being on the call today and for listening to us. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I had a question for you guys. I know you talked about some of the classes are in Kissimmee. So how, if I wanted to go to one of those classes, how would I be able, in terms of transportation, if I didn't have my own car, be able to get out there?
Great question. So Valencia students are able to ride the Lynx bus. So say if you don't have your own private transportation, you can always ride the Lynx bus. We'll give you an ID and you'll be able to ride the Lynx bus. We also have the Sunrail that's accessible. It takes you downtown Kissimmee, and it's not, I want to say it's right at the bus terminal. So you can catch a bus and come to the actual advanced manufacturing center. So once you get off on the Sunrail, you can catch one of the buses to the advanced manufacturing center. So there is transportation, everything's accessible. There's a bus stop that stops not exactly in front of the advanced manufacturing center, but not far from it. So even if you catch the bus, you walk around the corner and you're right there at the advanced manufacturing center. So
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Lance, do you have any additional questions?
Oh, well, I was looking at the downtown campus, the program starting up on July 20th, and talking about transportation. Is there parking at the downtown campus?
That is a good question, Lance. Lance, you on fire, I tell you. That is a good question. So with our downtown location, downtown is hectic, right? I don't even like going down there because I end up going on the wrong side of the road, but that's a whole nother story. But long story short, yes, you do have parking. We do have parking for our students that are going to the downtown location. You'll get a parking pass for the garage once you start, and you will return that parking pass once you finish class.
Is there an additional cost to that?
You know, Lance, because you're special, you do not have an additional cost.
Thank you. Good news.
And the location is right behind the Marriott downtown. So
It is.
The parking garage that we use is sort of across the street from the Marriott. But it's literally a block, and your car's protected. It's in a garage.
Yeah.
And what's nice having the Marriott there, and there's a couple other restaurants once they reopen. There's food there, which is really nice. Some of the other locations don't have food like that, but
No, they don't. They don't have food
does
like
a special lunch for us every day. So
They do. And you know, Dave, that is something that I want to highlight. The Marriott, which is right next to the Advanced Manufacturing Center downtown, they have a lunch menu specifically for the Valencia students that is price affordable, and their portions are like huge. They're huge. I love the Marriott. But they have a lunch menu specifically for the Valencia students, which was nice.
That's wonderful. It's a perfect location for residents at the Pendana. It's very close.
Absolutely.
Thank you.